As we wait to see what is going on exactly with Cam Sutton, the Detroit Lions might have to start thinking ahead. Now, a lot of you guys have, Cam Sutton had a very tough season last year, and I think there's a lot to that. I think that, you never know. You never know. He could have been going through something as to why, that stuff can affect your mental, can affect your play on the field. He also could have been out of position a lot of times, and I think a lot of it has to do with the pass rush as well. But we don't know what's going on yet, but just to kind of get ahead of the thing, a lot of y'all was ready to replace him anyway. And before the events of today, as they unfolded, Cam Sutton was not going to get cut. He was not going to be, at best for you guys, he would have been restructured. But with the possibility of him getting cut, what could a possible replacement be? Now, the Detroit Lions very well could have been prepping for this, and maybe that Amik is going to be cornerback number 2, while Carlton Davis is going to be CB1. Now, I'm thinking initially you had Cam CB1 or 2, Davis CB1 or 2, and then Amik would be kind of that slot guy, while Brian Branch would be moved strictly to the slot. But with what's going on, is it possible that the Detroit Lions could pick up a cornerback in free agency? That's all I've been seeing in my comment section, is maybe picking up a cornerback. Now, I said this in an early video today. I don't want the Detroit Lions to take a cornerback early. First, second, maybe now that we have 1 3rd-round pick, I would say maybe not into the 3rd round. If we're going to go, we got our offensive line set, at least for this year. We could draft a guard next year. Don't forget, we got Kobe Sorsdahl, who will be going into year 3 after this coming season. So maybe he is the future. Maybe he's not. But I would like them to focus on defensive end primarily. You're not going to get me off that. That's what I want. I want another DE, quality DE. And I think since we didn't do anything really in free agency, this is our opportunity to get one. But we're taking a look at potential replacements if, and like I said in an early video, this is a football channel, and unfortunately the football news must go on. The show, listen, if I wasn't here, the Detroit Lions would still go on and the content would still happen. So, we got to talk about it. So who could be a possible replacement for Cam Sutton, barring he is cut, but we have to wait to see that. Now, I'm looking at this list, and what I did is I wind up doing this by age, okay? This guy, Stephon Gilmore, his brother is on our team, kind of showed out in the preseason. Stephon Gilmore, you guys are really high on him. We're going to see how you feel after I click on that market value. But going by age, he is the oldest corner available currently in free agency. Then you have, as a matter of fact, I put cornerback, but they got Micah Hyde in here. They got some safeties in here. I thought Patrick Peterson was moved to safety as well. But if we look at this list, I see what y'all are talking about now, because it is slim pickings. You have Stephon Gilmore. He tops it off. And scroll down, you've got Xavier Howard. You have Trey Flowers, the former, I want to say, Seattle Seahawk. I think I'm confusing him with I want to put him on the Patriots, but I think he was a Seahawk. And if we go down here, we've got J.C. Jackson. We've got Adoree Jackson. Eli Apple is to the gnaw. We got Akilo Witherspoon. Avonte Maddox is also available. And then if we go down the list, we got an old friend right there. Jerry Jacobs is there as well. So let's go back up, because I think it gets real slim as we go down. This whole thing is real slim. So let's look at a couple people with market values. Let's start. We're going to save Stephon Gilmore for last. So let's look at a guy that could come in and potentially, okay, J.C. Jackson, he doesn't have a market value. Let's take Adoree Jackson. Let's see what his market value is. You're going to have to deal with these ads. They're ridiculous. Market value, $11 million. That's insane. So we've got $11 million, 4 years, $45 million. I don't think Detroit is going to do that. So another thing that we'll do as well is we will look at this from a 1-year kind of standpoint. Brad loves his 1-year deals. A lot of these guys could be 1-year deals. So you know what? Let's skip straight to the good stuff. Let's go to 2 guys that I think. Let's go to Witherspoon here at 28. What is his market value? His market value is $10 million for 2 years. This right here is up Brad Holmes' alley. Now, I did not do any stats. I did not stat check these guys 2 years, $20 million. I'm thinking we go a little lower than that, maybe 2 years, 15, somewhere around there. Maybe even 12. Brad likes to stagger bonuses and things like that. He likes to spread out caps or salaries through multiple years. We have yet to talk about DJ Reader, but his contract goes all the way to 2027, if I understand correctly. So we've got Witherspoon. He just turned 28. So he will be 28 during the season. So if you want to go on the side of youth, then he would be a guy that we could look at. So Witherspoon, I will entertain as the ad. Watch it pop up. I guarantee you, boom, there you go, all the time. So annoying. I wonder if I pay for something, will that go away? Okay, so let's go. Let's look at Xavier Howard. We'll look at, hold on, did I do age? I did. So let's look at, where's Xavier at? Xavier Howard, he doesn't have a market value. So let's look at the market value, guys. So we looked at Adoree, 4 years. We looked at the guy we just looked at as well, Witherspoon. So let's look at the guy that has been blowing up my comment section, Stephon Gilmore. Now Stephon Gilmore, before I go any further, very early on, this guy was like a shutdown corner. He was the man when he was early in his career, and he plays very well for a 33-year-old cornerback. He's better than Josh Norman was at the end of his career. And I would assume that we are going to be, that this guy, Stephon, is in at the end of his career. You know what his name remind me of? Okay, so his brother's name is Steven, right? So could you remember Urkel when he would get into, he took the little nerd formula or whatever, and he would turn into Stephon instead of Steven Urkel? That's kind of what it reminds me of with Stephon and his brother, if I am correct. All right, so the market value for Stephon Gilmore is, let's see, he is 33 years old. When the season starts, he will be 34 because we have about 175 days or something like that. So he will be turning 34 at the end of the season. I'm sorry, beginning of the season. 11 years experience. $11 million for 1 year. $11 million 1 year. That's what we're talking about. So when it comes to, this is right up Brad Holmes' market. It really is. I think that's a little high, though. So you've got Witherspoon, who would be 2 years. He's 28. He's 28. It would be 2 years, 20 million. I'm thinking somewhere between 15 and 20 for 2 years. That's right up Brad Holmes' alley. Then you have Stephon Gilmore, 1 year for 11 or so. So I'm thinking maybe 8. And if he gets, I don't know, 3 or 4 interceptions, you can incentivize it where it can be up to a certain amount. So out of this list, and you can go to Spot Track, just like I said, go to cornerbacks available, unrestricted free agents, and you can look for yourself and tell me who you would want. Somebody mentioned Rock Ya-Sin. A lot of guys on here, but for me, shallow and pedantic, I am going to say I wouldn't mind Stephon on a 1 year deal. He would bring that veteran leadership. He would be, because I don't think our secondary is any older. Well, I know the rookies aren't, but I don't think that, as a matter of fact, no, the two that Amik and Carlton are not over the age of 30, right? So this guy would bring that veteran leadership. 1 year deal. I think 11 million is steep. I think it's steep. Let me see. Now I'm a bit curious. But then Aquila has the youth. Okay, let's do this. Let's look at his stats because I want to know. I need to know what his stats are. Stephon, that is. Every time I say his name, man, I swear I think of Urkel. Stephon Urkel. Dude was drafted in 2012, so he's been in the league a long time. All right, let's look at his stats. Yep, week 2. As a matter of fact, this is the second Thursday of the season because I predict that the season is going to start on the 12th of September. So this will be week 2. He will turn 34 years old. So he had 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions. He had 13 passes defended. Let me see. Shallow and pedantic. It was Buffalo, but I remember him specifically from New England. That's kind of where I really remember him at. Carolina. So this will be, if his new team will be his 5th team in 5 years, played all 17 games. All 17 games. Huh. Shallow and pedantic. I am going to, you know what? Looking at this, his age might not be that bad. It might not be that bad because I can tell you what's not going to happen. We are not trading for L'Jarius Sneed. That's not. So I did not know this video was over 10 minutes. So we're going to wrap it up here. So if something was to happen, if depending on what happens with Cam Sutton, I wouldn't be opposed to this. Not for $11 million. That's pretty steep. I'm thinking maybe 7 or 8 1-year deal, and then the Lions could draft somebody next year. I just don't want to waste early draft capital, in my opinion, on a cornerback. I just don't, because I really think Brad Holmes was going pass rusher. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But maybe we can bring in Stephon on a kind of a. You have Tre'Davious White as well. So I don't know. We'll see. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. And also commenters, man. We have a lot of commenters on this page. I noticed that my page has probably the most commented page probably in Detroit Lions, like real talk, outside of a few other guys. So, and I appreciate that. I do try to read every single comment. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. It's been a rough, weird day. And now I'm about to let off some steam and work out.